All right, so tonight is a combined effort. Christy, who is part of the Fit Union, part of our team, me and her became friends right off. Like, I think I met her for the first time at my first summit in 2013. We've been really like great friends since then. She is so inspirational. She asked to have me speak to her team about the importance of free groups. We do this mastermind session with our corporate contact, Joe, a couple times a month, and we were talking about this. And she's like, I'd love for you to talk to my team about this. And so I was like, okay, awesome. And her team calls the same as mine, so we're combining it. So I really wanted to talk to you guys about the importance of free challenge groups. And this is something that in our current group that we are running, Melissa and Robin and I, as far as training new coaches today, we talked about the importance of challenge groups. And this is something that a lot of new coaches don't understand what challenge groups are. And so our assignment today that I gave to all of the people in the new group was to make a list of everything that they saw as a benefit of being in a challenge group. And so our assignment was to make a list, put it in something pretty, whatever, Canva, PicMonkey, Word Swag, whatever worked for them, and then share it in the group, and then kind of write up something that as if they were going to post it publicly, and then the leaders of the group would go in and approve, add things to their posts. And that's the issue that we have with a lot of coaches, is that they don't really know. Hold on, somebody is muted. I don't know who it is.
Hello?
Oh, there. A lot of people don't know, what to post. And so this group has been really helpful because we're giving them call to actions, having them do assignments, and then we're, helping groom their posts to share publicly. But this is something that I suggest a lot that you guys do, is look at what a challenge group is, what it means to you, the benefits that you have seen, not just for yourself, but others, and then compare it with other coaches in the team, and then share it publicly. Because that's the one thing, is that as a new coach, I didn't really understand what a challenge group was. And most people don't know what a challenge group is. A lot of people think, I've had, misconceptions of, it's where you compete, or, and I know my biggest fear when I was invited to my coach's challenge group, when I first became a customer, I was super nervous that, other people were going to judge me, that other people were going to see, I didn't know what I had to do, because, you think that most people don't ask questions, they automatically assume the worst, and they, whatever their fear is becomes whatever, their reaction to it. So if you worry about being judged, if you're shy, then those come out. So the best thing to do is to know what the benefits of challenge groups are for starters, whether it's one that you're inviting somebody to start 21-Day Fix as a group, or just to have accountability, or whether it's a free challenge group. So I really encourage you to write down the list of the benefits so that you can share it publicly, and then you can rattle them off the top of your head when you're inviting people. Because the first thing you're going to do is, when you invite people to your challenge group, they're going to want to know what it is, what's expected of them, and what they're going to get out of it. So you need to know those things. And if you're not in a challenge group, or if you haven't been in a challenge group for a while, make sure that you're reaching out to a coach in your team or your sponsor to run one together, to be in one for accountability. But tonight I wanted to talk about free challenges, because so many people are, out there, struggling per se to drive their business, and I hear this all the time, I can't get anybody to join my challenge group. And then when that happens, people don't do challenge groups at all. And I talked to a coach the other night when we did our one-on-one call, and she was like, I realized that my biggest mistake was when I first marketed a challenge group, I didn't get much of a response, and when I did, it was very slim, and it was few and far between, and then I just kind of gave up on running challenge groups altogether. So it's very important that if you need to maintain consistency in this business, you always have to be running a challenge group, or have something to invite somebody to. Because if you're doing 4 vital behaviors, it is really important that, when you're inviting somebody, you have something to invite them to. And so a great way for you to, number one, just kind of get your foot in the door and start experimenting to get your foot in the door, to, see how people respond to it. And then also for somebody like myself, I've been doing this for 5 years. And so I've never ran out of people, and it's always been through free challenges. So this is something that I would highly recommend, is that every month you have a paid challenge group that starts. The best thing for me, I found, is I started on the 1st, because people in their mind, they start on a Monday or they start in the beginning of the month, because, if it's like on the 10th of May, they can't possibly start anything or commit to it till June 1st. So have something like that. Have a free challenge group. And it's always great to have a challenge group set that's free early in the month, so that they can really start to see the benefit of working with you, working in a group, having that accountability, learning something that you're going to provide value to them, where they're going to see like, oh, this makes sense. Now it makes sense to work with a coach. Now it makes sense what is going on in these challenge groups that this coach is talking about all the time. And, oh, I made a friend, or I lost 5 pounds, or whatever it is that you're aiming towards. And then you have, the last half of the month to convert them over to a paid customer. And so, run your groups whenever you want, but I highly recommend running your free groups towards the beginning of the month. These free challenge groups are ways for you to have people that are on the fence get involved and get to know you. And so I have ran several different groups, 1 to 2 a month for the last 4 years. And that's where I see a spike of new people coming, people that are, referred to me from other people, or people who've just been watching, because everybody wants something for free. And really, the business that we're in, I will say that it seems like 90% of the people that come to me have tried tons of things that didn't work, and they're literally their last ditch effort. They spend money on get skinny quick, bad things. I talked to somebody the other day on the phone, and she has spent $175 at this point going to some sort of clinic to get rid of her cellulite. She has spent hours there, tons of money at that point, to be told to just basically take everything off the table except for protein, and consume only 600 to 700 calories of protein. So you think these people, they've been told all these ridiculous things that are, completely opposite of what they heard. And then you're saying oh, join me for, even though we know as coaches that the $160 B20 on demand all access challenge pack is amazing. It's a great value to us, but to them, all they see is another $160 of something that didn't work. And then here's this person that's just trying to sell to me. And, these are the things that people are thinking. And I know this because I thought that in the beginning. It's I didn't really know what it was. I didn't want to spend any money. I didn't think that it would work. I didn't think that I would work. I thought that I would fail, and I didn't want another reminder. And so when you can share a part of what you do and share the fact that you truly do care about them, and that you're willing to help them no matter what, that's where you build that relationship. That's where you build that trust. That's when they feel important. And so these are why the free challenge groups are so important, is because you can build this trusting relationship with people where they actually want to take the next step with you. This is, you're building relationships. It's like dating somebody. You're getting to know them casually on Facebook or on Instagram, and then you take it, privately in messages, and you get to ask them more questions, and you're asking them to open up about their private life, about what's worked, what didn't work, what their fears are. And then you're saying, oh, I can do all these great things, but they want to see you in action. And coaches say all the time, oh, I would love to help people. I would do it if I didn't get paid. But then I see coaches out there who are just bloodthirsty for money or success level points, and then once that's done, they're gone. And people see this. They feel like a number. I've been in businesses where I felt like a number. I actually had some issues with this TMJ doctor that I started going to last year, and I was talking to the nurse or whatever recently, because I quit going there, and I was like, I felt like a number. I felt like that they only cared about money, and so I just stopped going. And then it was kind of like a wake-up call, because I'm like, this is in any area, not just in coaching or anywhere. If you feel like a number, you're going to disappear. If you don't feel important, and I dumped $4,000 into this, treatment for my Team J thing. And I just said, forget it. I'm not going. They were rude. They didn't help me. They didn't answer my questions. And they dumped me once I spent the money. They weren't helpful like they were whenever they were trying to get that sale. And so that was something that, really stuck with me, that we need to make sure that we're doing this. And so some people have, I hear this all the time. Oh, these people are, they're such flakes. They're this, that, and coaches call these people these names and accuse these people of being flakes, of not following through, of not being good with their word, and all these just, really awful things about people. But what I've found is those people who appear to be the most skeptical, it's because they have the least amount of confidence in themselves, and they have a huge long list of stuff that didn't work. And so here's the thing is, if you say you really want to help people, if you say you really want to change their lives, you say you really want to make a difference in somebody's life, then it starts a lot of times for free, of adding value. And it's the same thing that we're doing on our pages when we're talking about, the things that we are, is we're trying to add value out there, add positivity on Facebook, so that people will learn to trust us, and that no matter what, we're willing to help them. And so when you take them into the free group, that's where the work really starts. And I say the same thing about it. Once somebody purchases a challenge pack and you get those successful points, you get that commission, that's really, you think that that's hard, then the work starts once they're getting their mind prep, once they're getting started. Once you get their box is when it starts even, more work, because you want to make sure that box doesn't sit on the counter, or that Shakeology bag doesn't get open and just sit on the counter after drinking one Shakeology. Same thing with the free groups. This is where you can build these relationships. And so I want to give an example of Wendy. She's on this call. I won't put her on the spot. This is the first, team call she's been on, but I encouraged her to do a free group, because she had a lot of people that were kind of just, saying they were interested, engaging on her posts. I was like, do a free group. And I will say that she poured her heart and soul into her free group. And I don't think she had a template for it or anything. But I wouldn't want to pass it along, because that was her baby. That was her thing that she worked so hard on. But she took the time to really think about where she got started and educate people about like seasonings and, because I remember when I got started, I was like, oh my God, I have to buy olive oil and coconut oil and almond butter, all these weird things, and she educated people with them. And then she shared stuff every day. And even though that group was in April, it started on April like 9th or something, when we were in Hawaii. But she still posts in there actually, but it's been a labor of love. It's just educating people, sharing with them. And there was a few people, like one person lost 6 pounds, the other one a couple pounds. I participated the best I could. We were in Hawaii on our anniversary trip, but being in that group reminded me to stay on track, that just don't go balls to the wall when you're in, on vacation, and just do it, whatever. And so she helped me stay on track. So these were the things that were so important. And I use her as an example because this was her first group, and she had several people participate. And just like any other challenge group that I have ran for 5 years, there were some people who posted, and some that posted, or liked stuff, and then others that I saw never said anything, so it's no reflection on how awesome you are or what your content is. Some people just don't show up. But she showed up every single day, regardless, no matter what. And it's the same thing that I do in all of my groups. I show up every single day, even if nobody posts, but I want to make sure that I'm setting that tone. And so that was what she did. And she helped people reach some goals. She educated them. I was super proud of her. And because of that, she signed her first coach. That one of the people that came out of there and lost 6 pounds had been somebody who was, somebody who just purchased Shakeology here and there, like the programs that she has her own gym, routine, but she signed as a coach. She picked Wendy because Wendy, I know, showed up every day, and her personality reflected in that group. And, and now Wendy's going to be an Emerald coach on Thursday. So like good things come from this, but she didn't go in with the intention of like, oh, I'm going to get a coach out of it. She's like, I'm going to go in there and educate, and I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to help people. And she did just that. So these are the things that are important. And this is basically, I hear other coaches use the word funnel to define that you have this funnel of people that you bring in. And that's something that we're constantly talking about, is like adding people to your network. Tammy has like added, I think, 30 people in the last like 8 weeks. And so this is the perfect way, is like you add people into your social media networks. You post stuff about your regular life, about Beachbody, about your progress, about your story, just, whatever it is. And you engage on their posts. You get to know them. Once you start interacting back and forth, you're going to show up in their news feed. Once you see stuff that you have in common, you don't have to have everything in common, but you can strike up conversations. And then you organically start a relationship, a friendship with them over social media. When you're constantly talking about what you're doing, you're adding positivity, you're that light on social media, then they're going to turn to you when they're looking for help. When you pop up, a couple times a month and say, hey, I'm starting this new group, then those people will come to you. Or once you've engaged back and forth and got to know them a little bit, those are the people that you can feel comfortable going to and saying like, hey, I'm starting this free challenge, 5, 7, 14 days, whatever it is. Would you be interested in it? I'm just here to help. And that's when you can really share your method, your mission, your method for madness, whatever it is that you're looking for, because everybody's trying to give back to different things. I know Monica on this call, her big thing is empowering women, empowering people who have been, survivors of, mental, emotional abuse. And so, you can do a challenge group like I've done in the past before, around a happiness challenge group. Robin's done personal development challenge groups. I've done a miracle morning challenge group where it gets people to focus on taking care of themselves, meditating, doing some exercise, journaling. There's different ideas of challenge groups that you can run, but this is where you can really show up every day and build relationships with people, let them get to know you, provide, value. And one thing that I do is when I do these challenge groups, I always open it up to the public. I will say that these free challenges are not for coaches. They are for new people. I always try to make it clear, like, if you're already working with a coach, you're a coach, this isn't for you. This is for new people. So I really caution you that if you are marketing something in there, make sure you specify this is for people who are not already working with a coach or who are not a coach, because I can't tell you how many times I've ran a free challenge group and I have 10 coaches wanting to join. I'm telling you, if you're a coach, you should do your own, or reach out to your coach for support if you're looking for clean eating tips or these different various things. But make sure that when you're talking about it, you're specifying this, because my thing is, like, I love the Coaches Network and I give back all the time, but I don't want to run a free group for people who are already coaches and are already using Beachbody products and already should understand the importance of personal development and, and understand accountability. But these are, some of the most important things about challenges. I will do things like, invite 3 of your friends to this group. I'll give you a free gift. I've done free samples of Shakeology. I've done, I give them free meal plans. I'll do little giveaways of, like, Energize. And, I know some people think, like, oh my God, that's going to cost money. But here's the thing is, wouldn't you want to try something for free before you decided on it? If you were skeptical, wouldn't you be like, that's super awesome that they're willing to give me this, ability? So, you don't want to go into debt over this, but I do those things because I'm like, I truly want to help people. And there's people who are super skeptical about Shakeology, and then you'll be like, here, try one. And they're like, oh my God, I love it. And so these are, ways for you to give back. And that's one thing that I've learned through personal development. If you're a Tony Robbins fan, you know that he really preaches big about contribution. And so, this can't be all about you and your success points and your, rank goals and your, financial goals. But when you're giving back to people, when you're building relationships with people and you really want to see them succeed and to prove to them that you are who you say you are, that Beachbody coaches are who they say they are, and that you can give them what they're missing. Because a lot of people have tried things for weight loss, tried things for nutrition, but the missing part is usually the accountability and the support. So when you show up every day and you're there for them, then that is going to prove to them that they are worth it and that you are worth it as well. So one thing is, I hope that you guys, when you're running challenge groups, you're using the Beachbody Challenge Tracker app. But I will say, when I'm running the free groups, Facebook is so much more friendly when it comes to running these groups, because you can go live in there. You can, do different various things. And a lot of times when people are just getting started, to have them when they're already on Facebook, because most people have already connected via Facebook, it's easy to put them in the group and then close the group when it's done. But it gives them that chance. I used to have people always sign up for a free membership. Now I'm just like, anybody who wants to do this, because they may find out that I'm not the right fit for them, and later on there might be another coach that fits with them, and I don't want them to feel like they are trapped with me, and I really want them to work with me because they want to work with me. And like I said, I've heard other people too, like, they followed me and they'd done a free group with somebody years ago and they were kind of stuck with that person. So that's just my take. Everybody is different. Like I said, for years I ran it where you had to sign up with, a free membership. But I'm like, if I'm really giving back to them, I shouldn't need them to sign up for that, because that's me, like, presuming that they're going to buy from me, and then I want to make sure they get credit from that. And I personally have learned to just not put those vibes out. But again, that's completely up to you and the way you run your business. That's a great thing about Beachbody and what we do. It's our business to run the way we want to. I have meal plans that I share with my team, and I can share with any other coach that you can use. The biggest thing is, also Beachbody offers, like, thousands of meal plans based on workouts and the calories they need. So you can go in there. The Beachbody blog has it. You can grab a meal plan, the grocery list, the pictures, the prep instructions, and all of them, and put them in and hand that over to them. And to a degree, I feel like it helps if you use the Beachbody stuff, because that's what we're trying to promote, is that we don't need to reinvent the wheel. So that's something that I've been thinking about, just using that moving forward, than using the ones that I created a long time ago. Back in the day, we didn't really have all these tools that they have now on the Beachbody blog, but I would recommend that if you're going to start doing this, to use some of the stuff on the Beachbody blog, because you're already promoting it. You can just tell them that it's there, so that basically it's helping them understand that you know, being part of Beachbody takes the guesswork out of it. The biggest thing, you know, on the post, people are like, how do I keep up with the post? I use Postcron. I do know that there's other services out there, and I'm sure, you know, Christy's using anything else she can share. But using something to schedule your posts can help, so that you're not tied to it all the time. I know when I worked full time, it was tough trying to manage these things all the time. So back then I used Hootsuite, but now Postcron is something that I use now. But there's always ways around that, so that you can, you know, still manage this. I, you know, ran free groups for a whole year before I quit my job and became a full-time coach. Let me think what else I want to tell you. The biggest thing is just showing up every day, you know, and asking them questions, you know, and making it fun. And that's the one thing that I've learned is, in the past, a lot of my challenge groups were all about like learning, and, you know, so, you know, structured. And then I realized that I needed to have my personality show up and do fun challenges, or do videos and talk to them, or ask them questions about their family, and something that's not all Beachbody-ish, because you know what? People don't know what to say. They feel intimidated by coaches. You know, you think as a new coach, new coaches are so scared of talking to people because they're afraid they don't know everything. Well, I'm telling you that the challengers that come in, they're more nervous than you as a new coach, you know, because they don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. They don't know, you know, what they're supposed to post there. They're afraid that they're going to look stupid. They don't know what the other person in the group, you know, story is. You know, everybody always assumes that everybody's better than them. That's just, you know, human nature. So they don't ask the question. So, you know, sometimes when you can put yourself in the place whenever you got started and kind of make them feel at ease that it's normal, you can, you know, ask them to do fun stuff like sharing pictures of their kids or their family or their pets, or something that makes them happy, or, you know, something easy like, hey, you know, what is a distraction that you have in front of you that you you know, avoided, and, you know, reward them with recognition, maybe a prize for avoiding these things that would work against their goals, but make it fun, you know. And that's the biggest thing about this whole journey, is that you have to make it fun, because if not, you're not gonna last very long, especially if it's painful. You're gonna avoid it. So those are kind of my tips, and I want to share kind of one of my success stories about doing this. Was I had this lady, she found me on my Fit Asian Mom fan page back in 2013, shortly after I started it. One of my actually rock star coaches, Melissa Gelme, she found me from that same, you know, like page. But this other chick was from the Northern California area. Well, she started following me, and one day I posted something that was kind of like a fat shaming type thing. It wasn't meant that way, but it kind of came across that way. And for the first time, she had been liking all my stuff, but she messaged me and she was like, you know, your page is always positive, but this one kind of struck me, you know, the wrong way. I honestly can't even remember what I posted, but we started talking about it. So I removed it. I was like, you know, that's not the way I meant. And then we just started talking. I started asking her questions about her life, about what she'd been through. And I became her friend. I always checked up on her. I still to this day check up on her. She has, you know, celiacs, and I have a lot of people who have celiacs who drink Shakeology. But it was something that she was always said I can't do because I have celiacs. I always respected that, but I always checked up on her. And I did, you know, this fitness challenge one time. It was like big guns fitness challenge, and there was like push-ups, all this crap. Like if you actually look at the Fit Asian Mom page, under albums, I actually have like free challenges, and I have the calendar, I think, from that original one. Well, she showed up every day. And, you know, she was going through a lot with her ex and with her, you know, being a single mom and everything she was going through. And it was just a place for her to show up. She rocked that challenge. Like, I still remember in my head the picture she posted of her flexing at the end. And the gift for whoever won that challenge, and I honestly can't even remember what rules or I had to be the winner, but she won the challenge. And so I sent her Brazil butt lift, and she was so thankful. And she said what I you know, said a long time ago, oh my God, I never win anything. This is so amazing. Like, you'd be surprised with small little things that make a huge difference in people's life. But she felt so like excited that she did that. And she felt so like amazing that she rocked this challenge and she got great results. And, you know, she showed up in that group and she inspired other people, and it was just amazing. But so anyways, long story short, I've never met this person. Still to this day, still check up on her. She's never purchased anything from me, but she referred to me, her childhood friend, and somebody that's been in her life for a really long time and means the world to her. And that's Brandon, who's on this call. He was going through a rough time in his life, and she told him all about this person that she felt was absolutely amazing. And whatever she said about me was convincing enough, because if you know Brandon, he's pretty shy, but for whatever reason, he actually reached out to me. And we have become like super freaking close. He's one of my best friends, like my kid. He's like pretty much like my kid's uncle next to Charlie. We have amazing memories, and he's an amazing part of my life and Charlie's life and Robin's life and Wendy's life and Melissa's life, all because of this person that started in this challenge group. And long story short, if you followed Brandon's story, he's been through a lot, and he was at a really crappy time in his life. And I think most of us can relate. We came to Beachbody when we were kind of at a really crappy time in our life, and it was like a godsend. But like, once he started opening up to me, telling me a story. She reached out to me once he really started like coming out of his shell, and she's sent me messages at least 3 times that I could remember, saying, thank you so much for helping my friend. It means the world to me. And I realized at that point, after, you know, several messages from her, like, that he means a lot to her. And like, that meant to me, like, how special is that she had enough like trust in me, that she had trusted her best friend and somebody she loved to me, to a complete stranger she had never met. But I showed up every day, and I've always checked on her, and she is important to me as Brandon is. Obviously, me and her don't have as many memories, we've never met or traveled together like Brandon and I have, but like, that's like an amazing story that came from a challenge group. Those are the things that if you're not doing these things, or if you're not really showing up 100% in these groups, that you're missing out on. And she actually referred to another coach, somebody else that actually Brandon's met, Melissa Galmay's met, because they're all in Northern California. I still have yet to meet, but another person who is on our team, all because of this one person that I showed kindness to, that I showed up every day. I recognized her, which is one of the 4 vital behaviors. But that is the power of the free groups. And, you know, if you're like feeling like it's kind of stagnant, and that you don't want to run a free, you know, clean eating group, because I will say that after a while I get kind of tired of that. Try something different. I mean, try a positivity group. Try, Lila and Brittany, who are on our team. They ran a pregnancy challenge. It wasn't really a challenge, but it was an educational, informational group about, having a healthy, pregnancy, and then tips for things that can help you postpartum. You can do a happiness, one, a personal development one. I've done crock pot challenge. You can do, now that we have the 30-day trial Beachbody on Demand, you can do a 5, 6, 7 day challenge. I know that, when Hammer and Chisel was coming out, I did like a 21-day challenge group using Beachbody on Demand. The programs were there because they had the sneak peeks. You can do, meditation, gratitude. You can do ones for, even stuff like that are really not Beachbody related. I've seen people do like do it yourself home project challenges. I saw what was it? Oh, at the playbook that Charlie and I attended in Dallas, Jimmy Hayes Nelson was talking about one of his coaches. I honestly don't even remember, but she did some sort of group based on some TV show that she was addicted to. I can't remember what it was, but I mean, you can come up with these groups, you can come up with these things where you can get connected with other people, and you can show up and you can help them. I mean, I've joined Korean, adoptee groups and really helped a lot of people through some of the issues that Beachbody and being part of the group has helped me with. So that's all I have to share about that. I hope that I was able to give you some sort of clarity of where to go and show the benefits of running a free challenge. Does anybody have anything they want to ask, anything that they want to share? Robin, do you have anything that you want to share? Because I know you've been running a lot of free groups as well.
The most important thing that I would say about free groups is just like be in there and be engaged. I'm literally doing my scheduling my post-cron post for my hydration group for the rest of this week right now during this call, because everything that Mindy is saying is reminding me like, oh yeah, I can do that kind of thing. Oh yeah, I can share this kind of post. We can have this kind of engagement. And that is where most of my current challengers have come from, is from free challenge groups or just free groups that I have done over the past year. And like 3 of my current coaches, that's how I found them. So don't be afraid to do the free group. Don't necessarily spend all your time doing it, but show your personality, go live in there, make fun posts, not just like, here's a fact, like do something that's funny, make people enjoy themselves and show your personality. Because like Mindy said, people are so nervous to be in those groups that they might be like crickets. They're way more nervous than you are. And it's just our job to help people see a more fun outlook on health and fitness, because how many of us grew up thinking like health and fitness sucks, I hate sports, I'm not athletic, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'd never want to exercise, but we're all coaches because we love it and it has changed our lives. So show the fun side of it. That's something that Carl Deichler put in the I'm Here to Help group that like Mindy and I are in, is that we need to show how fun this is. And I am really guilty of this being really serious and heartfelt in all of my messages that I post. So I'm trying to show my fun side too. And that is something that we can easily do in these challenge groups to build these relationships with people that show them a different way of life and a different way of looking at things, no matter what kind of topic it's on. If it's nutrition, if it's hydration, if it's personal development, if it's affirmations, if it's, doing sit-ups for a week. Just whatever it is, you can show your personality and show that it's fun to do this together. I could go on for another half hour, so I'll stop there.
When I did the Big Guns Challenge, I remember that there was like, I did videos in the group of, this is when I was working full time. I was doing like chair dips in the office while I was waiting for my lunch to cook. I even did it in the bathroom. Our bathroom had like separate stalls and a separate like sink area, so it wasn't like a disgusting floor. I mean, it probably wasn't really that clean, but either way, I was like, every time I would go pee, which I was drinking tons of water, I was peeing a lot, I'd go in there and do like 15 push-ups and I would do a video. So I was showing people that like, no matter what, I was committed. And like, that's the one thing that I'm in the Shift Shop test group. And that was something I went live and talked about today, is that like Chris is doing the Shift Shop program with us. I mean, he's a creator, but he started yesterday along with our test group. He's doing it in his gym in Canton with like, I don't know, about 10 people that are running there, with him every morning at like 5 o'clock and doing the group. But he shows up all the time. So like when you run these groups, like do something you can do with them. Like I understand, like if you're doing a clean eating group, that the basic meal plan that you use may not fit whatever you're eating for your program, but maybe do something of like a squat challenge. I mean, I remember I did a squat challenge May of 2013. I had like crazy results. People like in corporate were talking about my butt even, I found out. It was like, do it with them, so that like that's the point, is that we're in the trenches with all these people, that we're helping them, and just like let your freak flag show if that's who you are. Like, I mean, be who you are. I mean, that's why I tell Rob, I'm like, dude, you're nerdy and you're silly and you're goofy and you are heartfelt and you are amazing, but just show up, because like that keeps it light. That keeps it funny. I'm looking at Stacey's face. Like she's in my Beachbody Challenge Tracker challenge group. She's been in it for the last couple of months. And dude, I love her pictures every morning. Her and her husband like have some crazy face. Like sometimes he's hiding behind the blender, but like she's just like fun and like hilarious. Like those are the things, like show up in your group doing those silly things, because that's fun. Like Brandon always posts funny selfies with his tongue sticking out or a big old smile. Like those are the things, like show up, because like those are the things that like that people are used to, if they know you, that's how you really are. So like don't change your persona of who you are because, oh, I'm a coach. be who you are. And like, that's like the best thing that I think that I have been given through coaching was permission to just be myself. So be whoever you are. If it's nerdy, if it's silly, if it's goofy, if it's serious, whatever it is, let it show. I mean, because people are going to be attracted to you that way, because they're going to tell. People can always tell when you're real, or whenever you're putting on a front, or you're trying to mimic or copy somebody else. Just be you. So like, whatever you see me doing that might you seem successful to you, if you're trying it, it's not fitting for you, it doesn't mean that you suck or you can't run challenge groups or this or that. Just do you and do it your way. And, just really just connect with people and just be real. People don't want you to be perfect. They want you to be, real. And so, maybe run a challenge group too. If you have a struggle with eating, or a struggle with drinking water, or if you have a struggle with, certain things, maybe have that be your challenge group, so that you can connect with other people who are struggling with the same thing, and you can, there's strength in numbers. So anyways, did anybody have anything else they wanted to contribute, ask, anything?
I do want to say one more thing. Like with the free groups, one thing that corporate told me to do, and I don't know if Mindy agrees with this or not, but they told me don't spend more than like 5 or 6 days on a free group. Don't do 30-day groups, because that's what I was doing. And like the first week, people would be all into it. But by week 2, nothing. So, I used to do like 30-day push-up challenge, 30-day squat challenge. That is so much work for maybe not a lot of payoff, which there is a balance for those of us that are doing this, like, as this is what we want our career to be. There is a balance between giving of yourself and having it be beneficial for what your goals are for your business. So just keep that in mind when you're planning a free group. Maybe, and if it's your first one, start with 5 days. Don't do anything crazy. Just make an event like Mindy made for this Zoom call. You don't have to make a group. Just do everything in that event page. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And if you guys need help and want some ideas, you can reach out to Mindy and I privately. I just volunteered you, Mindy. You're welcome.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Melanie Mitchell, one of the groups I'm in with her, she talked about that she only does 7-day groups. And I'm really a sucker for it, that I'll be like, let's run a group together. I'm actually discontinuing that now, and I'm encouraging everybody to just do their own thing. If you're a brand new coach, in your first 6 months of working the business, I am there to help you. And that means, like, if you're one of my coaches and been a coach for years, but you're just started working the business, your 6 months starts whenever you decide to work the business. But I'm encouraging everybody to step out and do it on their own. Because, like, I'll tell you that was the best thing for me, is that my coach never helped me. Like, she was amazing, but like, she never did anything for me. Like, I had to do all my research, do all the groups, find what worked, find what didn't work, figure out myself that 30-day challenges didn't really work. Like, all the stuff I had to figure out. Well, like, I'm encouraging all of you to run your own group. If you've never ran one, then reach out to your sponsor or find an accountability partner and just do it. But the best thing you're going to do is just go out there and try shit and see if it works. And if it doesn't, then hey, it didn't work. Or maybe I should try it one more time just to see, because sometimes it just takes a while tweaking it. But I encourage you, my call to action ending this call is set a date to run a group. If you need a meal plan, you can get one from me. If you need some ideas, I can help you. But I want you to run one on your own, and you to pour yourself into it, so you're not leaning on me or your sponsor or somebody else to do it for you. Show up, because I did, and that was the best thing it could have been. Like, I've maybe it's taking a lot longer to figure it out, but I feel like if you lean on somebody else, it's probably going to take you twice as long, because you're waiting for their approval. So that's my call to action to you. Set a date and set a type that you're going to do, and have it be 3 to 7 days long, and put it out there. Specify that it's not for coaches, and that it's not for people who are already working with the coach. And if you don't get anybody who wants to join you, try again, and keep trying again, and keep trying again. And then see what didn't work before. Maybe you didn't give enough information. Maybe you didn't actually invite people personally. You just expected them to show up because you posted about it once in the month. I don't know. Try different options, but just be consistent. Show up every day and add value. Okay. Oh, and don't forget, everybody, register for your summit track tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay? And have a great one.